96.9 FM WAZZ, rockin' Willow Springs, rockin' you rocker, rockin' this whole damn place. Just what we're doing here, the Big Jax Radio Show. Oh, Lord, I'm excited. I'm excited to inform you, weekend rockers, that your main man, Clyde, your guru, Clyde, on the weekends, is not going to be here this weekend. No, he's not taking a vacation, because we don't have anything like that around here. I think his mother's in town. Maybe his sister's getting married, something family related. Now, how I learned about this, Rocker, is I was walking down the hall the other day on a Friday, and he was walking in, and we got to talking, and he said, "Oh, Big Jax, can I ask you a favor?" I said, "Of course, buddy." And he asked me if I would fill in on the weekends for him. I said, "Of course." He did elaborate a couple times before I had a chance to answer. He did tell me that I get extra money, extra pay for filling in for him, and I really kind of just didn't want to see this place on the weekends. But again, maybe the sound of shuffling money and dropping change kind of got my attention. I thought, well, of course, I might as well be nice here once in a while. And so I agreed to be nice. I said, "Of course, buddy, I'll fill in for you. What is your shift?" And he proceeded to write it down. So he said he comes in on a Saturday and spends all day with you on Saturday. Now, he did warn me that Sunday mornings are a little different. But I asked him, how different? What are we talking about here? At which time he said he had to go, but here was the hours, and he'd get with me on Monday or Tuesday. I said, all right, I can handle it. I got you covered, buddy. I got you covered. So, weekend rockers, I'm excited to be rocking with you this weekend. Filling in for your weekend main man guru, Clyde, who's off, taking some time away from this place, some well-needed time off, I might say. But I'm looking forward to it, Rocker. We will rock out this weekend, and we'll rock it on through Saturday and Sunday, so you get 2 days. And by God, I'm working 7 days this week in a row. I never thought I would even see this place for 7 days in a row. Lord have mercy. All right, Rocker, so we're going to do Saturday and Sunday together. I'm looking forward to it. All righty now. So, well, I tell you what. Yeah, I'm going to get on up out of here. Let's see here. Overnight's Rachel's coming up next. Oh, Lord. I don't know who I'm going to be relieving when I come in on Saturday. I'm hoping it ain't her, because I have to see her twice when I leave and come. When I'm going and coming. Should have to see her twice. That will be a nightmare. I don't want to see her. We'll get through it, Rockers. You'll get me through it, I'm sure. Let's see here. Y'all have a good one. I see her stomping around in the kitchen. Don't let her mercy. Rachel's coming up next. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. .9 FM WAZZ, rockin' Willow Springs, rockin' you rocker, rockin' this whole damn place. Just what we're doing here, the Big Jax Radio Show. Oh, Lord, I'm excited. I'm excited to inform you, weekend rockers, that your main man, Clyde, your guru, Clyde, on the weekends, is not going to be here this weekend. No, he's not taking a vacation, because we don't have anything like that around here. I think his mother's in town. Maybe his sister's getting married, something family related. Now, how I learned about this, Rocker, is I was walking down the hall the other day on a Friday, and he was walking in, and we got to talking, and he said, "Oh, Big Jax, can I ask you a favor?" I said, "Of course, buddy." And he asked me if I would fill in on the weekends for him. I said, "Of course." He did elaborate a couple times before I had a chance to answer. He did tell me that I get extra money, extra pay for filling in for him, and I really kind of just didn't want to see this place on the weekends. But again, maybe the sound of shuffling money and dropping change kind of got my attention. I thought, well, of course, I might as well be nice here once in a while. And so I agreed to be nice. I said, "Of course, buddy, I'll fill in for you. What is your shift?" And he proceeded to write it down. So he said he comes in on a Saturday and spends all day with you on Saturday. Now, he did warn me that Sunday mornings are a little different, but I asked him how different. What are we talking about here? At which time he said he had to go, but here was the hours, and he'd get with me on Monday or Tuesday. I said, all right, I can handle it. I got you covered, buddy. I got you covered. So, Weekend Rockers, I'm excited to be rocking with you this weekend. I'm filling in for your weekend main man guru, Clyde, who's off, taking some time away from this place, some well-needed time off, I might say. But I'm looking forward to it, Rocker. We will rock out this weekend, and we'll rock it on through Saturday and Sunday, so you get 2 days. My God, I'm working 7 days this week in a row. I never thought I would even see this place for 7 days in a row. Lord have mercy. All right, Rockers. So we're going to do Saturday and Sunday together. I'm looking forward to it. All righty now. So, well, I tell you what. I'm going to get on up out of here. Let's see here. Overnight's Rachel's coming up next. Oh, Lord. I don't know who I'm going to be relieving when I come in on Saturday. I'm hoping it ain't her, because I don't have to see her twice when I leave and come. When I'm going and coming. I should have to see her twice. That will be a nightmare. I don't want to see her. We'll get through it, Rockers. You'll get me through it, I'm sure. Let's see here. Y'all have a good one. I see her stomping around in the kitchen. Don't let her mercy. Rachel's coming up next. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. .9 FM WAZZ. I tell you, at the start of this past week, I ran into your weekend man, Guru Clyde, who asked me to fill in for him this weekend. Now, here we are back on a Monday. I'm trying to get through it, Rocker. It's been hard. It's been a hard weekend. I was afraid this might happen. Let's start from the beginning here. But I was approached by your weekend man, Guru Clyde. He was looking for someone to fill in on the weekends for him, and he asked me. Now, I wasn't quite sure how early in the selection process that I was. Maybe as a last resort, I'm not really sure. Or maybe he just saw me coming and said, hey, Jax will do it, because it involves rock and roll. Then I caught myself being nice. I said, sure, buddy, I got you covered. As we got closer to Friday, I kind of started eating those words, but I knew I had to keep my word, because sometimes your word's all you got. But I hope you had a good time, buddy. Let me tell you about the weekend here. You did not tell me. I got through Saturday. I was off to a great start, because once I got started, that was because Friday night when I left, I had Rachel came to relieve me on the midnight shift. I go home, I took a nap, I come back in, I was ready to go, I was roaring to go, guns a-blazing, and I walk up in this studio, and Rachel was like, I'm ready to get the F out of here. I said, all right, I'm ready for you to go. I gotta fill in for Clyde. And she gave me this dissatisfaction look on her face. A disgust, really, is what it looked like to me. Maybe just pure disgust when I walked in the studio. She said, what are you doing here? I said, I work here, lady. At which time I proceeded to tell her that if I knew that she was going to be here, I would have drug in about an hour or two late, like she always does me at midnight. But that was an oversight. She said, where's weekend man Guru Clyde? I said, he ain't here. He's helping his mother. He's watching his sister throw her life away as she's getting married. And she said, oh, this is the weekend he was going to the concert. Well, things didn't quite line up at that point, because then I started staring in outer space, because he did have a rock and roll shirt on. He did have a Metallica shirt on the other day, and he had his hair spiked up when he asked me if I would fill in for him. I didn't quite put that together until after she ran her mouth and said he was going to a concert out of town. And I could have swore he told me he was helping his mother in town this weekend. Or maybe his sister was tying the knot. Oh, well, whatever. I hope he's having a good time. And once I got her all out of here, I got down to business. Then I got to the rock and roll. And then all was well on Fifth Avenue then. Good Lord. But it wasn't until Sunday. Let me tell you about what happened Sunday. Sunday didn't quite go off with such a hitch. All right, Rockers, I come on up in here on a Sunday. I knew, Rocker, that we had a church service. Church service on a rock and roll station. I knew we played a church service. I thought it was maybe like what I used to do back in the 70s. Play an old radio cassette. Play an old cassette tape. Some old preacher man for about 30 minutes, and then we could get back to the rock and roll. But apparently, times have changed. And we're, I guess, devoting a whole Sunday morning to the church service here on the rock and roll station. I had no idea. I thought I was going to just walk up in here to a cassette being played recorded from a little Tykes recorder from a church service across town somewhere. But nope, I was wrong. God had other plans. I come up in here, said to get up here early in the morning at 6:30 and get the program started by 7. An hour into it, I knew I was in trouble because that thing was still playing. And then we had to do a commercial break long enough for me to flip the tape over. And it said, side 2, sermon 2. I'm like, oh no, that's say another hour. Well, Roger, it wasn't a total loss because I did learn a couple things. I believe that the church that we're playing here, I kind of come to a couple conclusions. By the time I reach lunchtime, I'd like to share those with you here, get your opinion, see what you think. Because I'm not really sure why in the world this church service that's paying for the whole morning here. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going through their minds. Let me play a little clip for you here, Roger. Just save the tape so we can examine this here together. Let's see here. What the pastor, apostle, I think he calls himself an apostle. And I asked him something about, I told him, when I met him one time, I told him, I said, I'm Big Jax. I do the rock and roll jock here. And he said he was apostle something, apostle Mize or something like that. And I said, oh, apostle. I said, you might like one of the show segments that I got here called Archives in History. He goes, no, I don't go that far back. Boy, it just sounded kind of ancient. I told him I was a historian. I said, I went on to inform him. I told him I was an historian, and he peeked, his eyebrows rose up. I said, I got a show here on WAZZ. It's a little special segment I call here Archives in History. You should check it out. He said, what is that? I said, well, if you're an apostle, you probably remember that you probably know this stuff. He said, no, I'm not that kind of an apostle. I'm not that old. I said, apostles just sounded old. I just figured you might be into it. He said, no, I don't listen to this rock and roll music. I don't listen to this station. I said, all right, get out of here. You're not welcome here. I didn't tell him that. Of course, management was standing there. Had to keep the conversation professional. Gotta behave with the preacher man standing there. But anyhow, I learned a few things about this station on Sunday morning. Apparently, we're not called the ass on Sunday morning during the glory service. It's Sunday morning glory. It's what they're calling this thing between 7 a.m. to high noon, 12 o'clock. Apparently, this station here calls itself Sunday Morning Glory on Glory Rock 96.9 FM WAZZ. I gotta think that's a little long, but as long as you know where you're at, that's all that counts. I like how they put that FM in there. I mean, well, by the time you say Sunday Morning Glory, Rock 96.9 WAZZ, I mean, you've got a mouthful already right there. Why not just put a little something else in there? 96.9 FM WAZZ. All right, why not FM stereo? Welcome to Sunday Morning Glory Rock 96.9 FM stereo WAZZ. Check God. Whatever, management. So I filled in for your weekend man, Guru Clyde, and Sunday Morning Glory was off with a bang. I got to 7 o'clock rolling with a church service, and here's a couple highlights from the cassette tape here that I have picked out. I want your opinion on here. And sorry, this is taking a little longer than I thought here, but we'll get back to the rock and roll here in just a second. Let's see what you think about this little clip right here.
You're one of the sorriest church members I have. You're not worth 15 cents. You can't get this in any other church in town. Now, y'all don't want me. All you got to do is tell me. We won't have a church fight, because I'll get my little Connie and we'll get in her little Buick Enclave. It's paid for, and we'll sell what we need to sell. And we'll go on down the road and we'll find some little podunk church that don't know up from down. And I'll find me a dozen Joe's Baskets who don't have a pot or a window and who will shout Jesus, and I'll give the rest of my life to them. Oh, Brandy's a sweet girl.
All right, now I got to think, by listening to that, I got to think maybe things are not just as bright at their church as you might think. I think what's happening here is the preacher's letting loose on the congregation.
And on all of your troubles, everything that you've been going through, God said to tell you, you're about to come out.
All right, before we closed out the hour at 9 o'clock, he was back on his tirade, and I heard this.
Good, and y'all are fine, but your children will turn on you if you don't hold up the standard and the banner of God. And if they don't turn on you, you'll just produce nice little whirlians. Are y'all keeping the camera on me back there in the little video room? Good. We're having trouble in the video room. There's no one finer than young Cox back there. And he comes down here and spends hours in that thing. But he has a little attitude adjustment that we're going to fix. Cox, you listening? Because, Mother Cox, I can fix your attitude adjustment. Now, I don't care what your mama thinks and your daddy thinks. And I don't have a better friend than your mama. But, Mama, you get out of my way when I'm messing with that boy, because I'm his preacher. I'm yours when I'm talking to you, but I'm his when I'm talking to him. That video room ain't going to be a youth hangout. Because if you loved me and you submitted to me, you'd know what my heart is and my message is, and you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room.
Now, I don't know who any of you folks are down there at that church, but I ain't planning on going down there anytime soon after hearing this service. Somebody getting an attitude adjustment. Somebody. I'm not really sure what's going on down there at this church. I don't think I want to know. Lord, I can't believe what my ears were hearing. This was almost better than rock and roll. This preacher was letting loose at the videotape room. He was reading everybody in there. He was reading everybody in the chapel. That chapel was no safe place here on Sunday morning. You gotta hear this, Rocker. This is almost worth all the time I'm taking from the rock and roll. Now, I do appreciate the organ player. Dude like the organ. Highlighting all the facts. That's some mighty fine organ playing in there. All right, pastor, preacher man, apostle, whatever you're calling yourself, whatever rank you are, coming rounding out, and he was talking about this.
Jesus didn't say it, but this I know. Rock and roll is a sin. Now I don't want to offend, but I'm not gonna pretend. 96.9 is a sin. You should really be in church right now, not listening to rock and roll or this radio.
I'm just not really sure what to make of all this. But anyway, so I guess they played us a little bit of music here. Here was some lyrics that I caught of a song by this church that buys time here on this radio station. This is some of the songs that they said play in heavy rotation here. And it took me about 3 times before I realized what they were saying. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to bring this to your attention. Now I want you to listen to the lyrics here from the church. Here's some of their music here.
Oh, praise the Lord on a Sunday morning. Oh, praise Becky 4:19, verse 2 through 3. Jesus, 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 praise him. From gin to rev, we praise him. Jesus has the glory, rock and roll be phony. Turn the dial to Christian, give the money to the Ephesians. Church unite, what a right.
Now I'm kind of offended by that because I'm starting to really not like church at this point. I have had my behind it saying a pew a couple times in my life, but I don't really quote the Bible. But I tell you one thing, and all the times I was sitting there, I do not believe I ever heard the book of Becky. I have never heard the book of Becky. I have to look that one up because I don't believe that is right. That don't sound right to me. I have never heard anything like that. Now, I will give them good. Now, they do sing pretty good, but I kind of question them lyrics I heard. I don't believe the hymnals had a radio station in there that would have said 96.9. Now, I knew rock and roll was a gift from heaven, but I don't think it was in the Bible, and I don't think it's in the hymnals. But I had 2 hours to go, and later on, after a couple of other selections of songs, I heard this.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. If you like rock and roll, you're going straight to hell in a handbasket. This station is nothing but a bad influence. Turn away from the rock and roll. You should really be in church right now, not listening to rock and roll.
What in the world? I didn't think I was ever going to get through the last hour of this Sunday Morning Glory Rock 96.9 FM WAZZ, but I did manage. There ain't nothing wrong with the rock and roll. There ain't nothing wrong with this station. Bunch of hypocrites putting that stuff on here. Oh, Rocky, don't feel guilty about it. Don't let the church service hinder you from having a rockin' good time. That song just kind of sounded a little custom-made for this station. I think that's what they're doing here. And rockers, just when it couldn't get any worse, I flipped the card here, and the next thing here for the jock, it said, now we begin our share-a-thon. This is some mess from management, I suspect. And this had nothing to do with the church. This is just something that management wanted us to throw in here and there. Now, Rocker, we are a secular station. We do count on your commercial money. We do count on the commercials. We depend on your selling time here at the radio station. This is not an underwriting station. We are not a nonprofit, and we're not a religious organization by any means. But the apostle does pay us for his time on the air between 7 and 12. So we give it to him because, after all, he's making it rain. Management has decided to throw this in. They said that we are doing a Sunday Morning Glory Share-a-thon. What in the world? So they have us some catchphrases here that we're supposed to say when we give the weather and the time updates during the sermons and the commercials. One of the things that it says here to say, we are so grateful for your generous donations. I've seen God work in amazing ways through this ministry. This ministry has helped me through a difficult time. I know it can help others too. We couldn't do this without you. Please join us in supporting this important work. We are praying for you. May God bless your generosity. And it gives the number to the rock line, and it says if you'd like to give a praise to Jesus, you can call the rock line. Now, I thought it was kind of odd because it did say that we took the rock line and we put the rock line on hold for the 12 o'clock hour. And on the office line, there's someone, I don't know who she is, comes in and collects donations if you call in. I heard the phone ringing a couple times. Apparently what the station's doing here to collect money is they're playing Share-a-thon. And that is a time when religious stations that depend on underwriting and your donations, they ask and beg, basically. They just beg for money and to keep the station afloat. And your generosity keeps it going. Well, apparently management thought that they would try this during the last hour of the Sunday morning service. So for a whole hour, I was pretending to be hosting a share-a-thon. I'm going to have to talk to somebody about this on Monday morning. That doesn't sound very honest-like, but that is how the weekend went, filling in for Klein, your weekend man guru here at 96.9 WAZZ. All right, Rockers, I've took enough of your time. I will not be filling in anymore for a Sunday. I might get in on a Saturday, but definitely no more Sundays. Let's get back to Rockin' Rock. This is 96.9 FM, WAZZ. It's a rockin' good time.